Hello YouTube, Skirkovi here again. This is it, the big debate. The existence of God. Now, before I begin, I want to be clear that there has been a lot of talk lately, at least that I've seen, about a tendency for some of the atheists on YouTube to pick on easy targets. The names Nephilim Free and Shock of God have been thrown around, and without commenting on the reputation, deserved or undeserved, of any particular YouTubers, let me just say that I don't want this debate, if I am so lucky as to have such a debate come up, to be susceptible to that accusation. I don't want this to be, there's no political way to say, no politic way to say this, I don't want this to be me batting some fundamentalist out of the park. That might make for entertaining viewing to some people. Maybe even I, on occasion, enjoyed seeing that sort of thing happen. But what I want to see my channel producing is something a little more serious than that. So, the people who I want to see responding are people who will take this debate seriously. And I think on some level, you know who you are. If you're one of those people, or if you're not one of those people, you know who you are. And here's the part that's not very politic. There's a difference between just taking the debate seriously and taking your intellectual responsibilities seriously. And that second part is really what I'm getting at here. I don't want, again, as I said, I don't want to just bat some crazy fundy out of the park. And, you know, crazy fundy might take their beliefs very seriously, but, you know, I don't feel obligated to respond to someone who simply takes their beliefs very seriously, but doesn't take their intellect seriously as well. Because, like I said, I don't want this to be a soap opera debate. I want this to be a legitimate debate. I want this to be something that actually gets at issues that really are at the heart of the matter. So that if there are people out there who are actually searching for an answer to this question and have already gone through the books, have already gone through the philosophers, have already gone through the theologians and the atheist apologists, and have heard the arguments for and against, I don't necessarily have any ambition that this video would resolve it for them. But I would like to think that that person would at least not roll their eyes watching this debate thinking, oh, this has been done a million times. You know, if you're not someone whose arguments can satisfy that requirement on some level, then don't be surprised when I don't respond. So, you know, there are a lot of very intelligent theists in the world, and there are a lot of very intelligent theists on YouTube. Rational Roundtable, Together for Peace, Veritas 48. These are just some of the first that come to my mind. There are many more. This is supposed to be something better than the soap opera we've been seeing so far. So, to the debate. Why I don't believe in God. First of all, God is not well defined. What is a God? All we have are really two sorts of description of God. We have these adjectives, you know, God is good, God is powerful, God is everywhere, God is, I don't know, a source of morality, you know. None of these things is a thing, okay? The other half of that, the other thing that we hear what people say is that God is spiritual, or God is non-physical, or God is something outside of the physical, greater than the physical, but in any case not physical. Well, what is that really saying? That all that stuff that we know about, all that stuff that we can actually make observations about and say things about with any confidence, he's not one of those. And that's almost saying God is not a thing, which is saying God does not exist. Now, what do we need in a definition of God? Okay, I don't necessarily need it to be very narrow or very specific. I'm here to debate the existence of a theistic God. Not necessarily the existence of a Judeo-Christian God or a Muslim God or a Hindu God or a pagan God of one or another variety. Specific, just generally any theistic God. So here's what I want, what I need to hear at a bare minimum. If we somehow, hypothetically, let's just say for the sake of argument, that we all turn on our television sets tomorrow to a breaking newscast that someone has devised a machine that has just cracked open the safe holding the mystery of the creation of the universe. That we actually are about to find out in explicit detail, scientifically, how the universe was created from start to finish. From nothing for all intents and purposes to a physical universe that could evolve life. An answer to that question. Now, without speculating on specifically what the answer will be or would be, what I need in terms of a definition is some kind of spectrum of what sorts of answers to that question would satisfy that there is a God. In other words, brain theory, and I'm talking about BRANE theory, of bouncing membranes and multiple universes and parallel realities. That is not God. Now, you might make the argument that just opens up another realm, that we have to find out where the brains came from, and then God might be there, but that's definitely a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down right now. What could we see in that machine or through that machine that would be God, that would meet a definition? Give me a spectrum of things that that machine might reveal that would qualify as God. This hasn't been done yet, to my knowledge. Certainly hasn't been done for me. You look at the theologians, you look at the apologists, and no matter how intellectual you try to get, it's always just adjectives and the claim of a non-physical being. Neither of those two things, nor the two of them together, combine to make a coherent concept. So, give me something coherent, and I would be thrilled to debate about it. I wish I could offer you more. I wish I could offer more in terms of assertive arguments why I don't think such a thing exists. But the problem is there really isn't such a thing to debate about yet, because God is a word with no coherent meaning at this point, from where I'm standing. So, to kick this thing off, let's get and I will be as open-minded as I can be. There are you might be able to give me an answer that I truly doesn't satisfy ontologically what I'm saying. That I'm not a jerk. That doesn't necessarily mean I won't entertain the debate. So, I'm not going to be too demanding on this. Let's see what you got, YouTube. Give me your best shot.